Welcome to another edition of Whiskey, Games, and Nerd Stuff. Today's whiskey is, I'm probably going to mispronounce it, Legent. I really enjoyed this. Let's go ahead and take a sip. Technically, this is a bourbon. It's pretty good. Been enjoying it. And today's Nerd Stuff is, for some reason, I'm going to talk about MetaZoo again. I don't know why I keep seeing these in the Target store. I don't know why it keeps bugging me that I'm seeing these in the Target store. It's not because the kids keep asking for them. It's just I can't seem to get past the thought of why there's so many other TCGs and card games that I think that I would love to see in the Target store. And that's not taking anything away that I will always support my local game store. It's just one of those things where you typically you do see some Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and a few other things in the store. But when I see MetaZoo, I keep thinking of other things that I could see in there. And I always, like I said, it doesn't take away from the local game store. When I can, I will always buy product from the local game store. In fact, I typically have a rule in mind where I'm always willing to pay an extra 10 to 20% more for a product if I know the local game store will sell it, versus a Walmart, Target, Amazon, or online somewhere, unless it's through TCG Player and I know I'm buying through a local game store, not a big company type of a deal. Would be curious to see what your thoughts are on how much more do you have your own internal rule of when you can buy something at the local game store, how much are you willing to pay extra before going somewhere else? And I know some people out there are going to be like, why would I pay even $1 extra at something when I can get it online? Well, I think you forget that your local game store, they're not making money unless there's a store that's out there that's charging you money to sit down and play by the hour. You have a place that you can go and play in person with people who likes the game. They typically have, they're happy to teach you how to play. It's a good, safe environment. So this is one of those things where I'm always willing to buy something from there, including whether it's, card boxes, deck boxes, sleeves, that kind of thing. Because, again, I want to support the local game store. But let me go ahead and take a sip. But I don't know why it keeps bugging me so much that I see these. Now, MetaZoo is supposed to be dead. It's supposed to be a dead game. They came out and said it was going to be a dead game. In fact, there was a pretty cool video I remember seeing the other day. I want to say it was from Nick Strength and Pokemon, if I recall correctly, where there was actually some footage or some pictures, as I recall, of a dumpster full of product that they couldn't sell, so somebody dumped it off. I'm wondering if the reason that this is still in stores is maybe this is through a different, because it's Hello Kitty, maybe there was a different kind of distribution or agreement and somebody else is issuing these. The kids like it, and I continue to get it for them when I'm there. It's kind of one of those things where it's relatively inexpensive. The local game store doesn't sell these. But let's go ahead and open these real quick. I'm going to pause it for just a second. All right, sorry about that. I was just taking too much longer to open up that box. Let's take another sip real quick. Of course, this is the coin that comes with it. This is the promo. And I have no idea if any of these cards are worth anything. Typically, if I see something that looks shiny and really cool, I'll put it in a sleeve. Otherwise, I'm just kind of giving it to the kids and they enjoy it. So I'll go ahead and open these up real quick. I know nothing about Hello Kitty. I would think that this would appeal to fans of Hello Kitty. And then I know there is still fans of MetaZoo out there. I know some people love it. Some people just hate it. Some people think it was a scam. There's all kinds of thoughts and feelings about MetaZoo. My hope is, I kind of thought it was a cool IP. I do hope somebody buys it, takes it over, and any of the people who got left hanging or were not made whole from the, as I understand from watching videos online, from prior ownership or current ownership, my thought would be if somebody were to buy the IP, then they would be made whole some way, shape, or fashion. But I do see a lot of videos on this. Again, I've not played this game. The kids just like it, and some of the cards are kind of interesting. I know they really like the artwork. I know that there's a lot of people out there, and there's a lot of videos online that you'll watch about people pumping and dumping MetaZoo. I would say not, and this is not financial advice, but when it comes to TCGs or anything that you're thinking of as an investment, I think a good rule of thumb to follow is, never invest in something you can't afford to lose. It's kind of like when you go to Vegas, right? If you go to Vegas and only bring money that you can afford to lose, you're going to have a good time. Think of it as entertainment. Same for TCGs. I always thought a good rule of thumb is I buy stuff because I like it. I enjoy playing the game. And if it goes to zero, it goes to zero. I'm still having fun and playing the game. Nobody goes and buys a Monopoly game and gets mad because 10 years later it's not double, triple, quadruple in value. You can't. It's hard to put a price on the length of hours you've got playing a game. I've got, right behind me, or actually behind this camera, I've got, Magic cards, Lorcana cards, Everfest cards. I buy them or they're gifted to me because people know I like it. I play the games. I like to make decks, especially once people found out I had the YouTube channel. It's always interesting to see what stuff people send you. Typically, I get sent whiskeys, which, I definitely enjoy. But I've had some people send me interesting things, and, like I've told them, is I have no problem talking about stuff. A lot of stuff I'll talk about is because I enjoy it and I like it. If I don't like something and enjoy something, I'm not going to talk about it. And then obviously, if I'm ever fortunate enough to get to the point where somebody actually sends me something to officially review or sponsor, then I would say something. But let's go ahead and look at the rest of these cards. Just really quick. So I have no idea if any of these are worth anything. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say the shinies are the ones that are potentially worth something. So if anybody sees something in that's kind of rare and worth something, I'm going to put these in a sleeve. I would really appreciate it. Would like to see, too, how many people are seeing these in Target? Again, on that same video I mentioned earlier, they were saying that they were seeing these in Five Below. So apparently these are in Five Below and in Target. So I find that very, very interesting. I know there's got to be a fan base out there for it. I know these are going straight to the kids to play as soon as I finish the video. Really would love to hear people's comments on MetaZoo. Are you still seeing it in stores? What are your thoughts? And what are some games that you're not seeing in like a Walmart or a Target that you would like to see in more of a mainstream store? Not to take away business from the LGS, but maybe to have more people see a particular IP or a particular game. Because I do think there's nothing wrong with those stores having certain product that's only available at Walmart or at Target to kind of appeal or give ideas to the mass audience. And then when they like it, they go find the bulk of that product at the local game store. If it wasn't for the local game stores, a lot of these would never have that chance to succeed. Also, I'd like to see what people's thoughts are on this. Again, if I'm pronouncing it right, Legent, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, partially finished in a wine and sherry cask. I've been drinking it, just kind of neat. Enjoying it. It's not too bad. It's not my favorite whiskey. It won't always be my go-to whiskey. But it's something that I wouldn't shy away from, and I do think it's worth trying. Let me go ahead and take another sip. Do appreciate everybody taking the time to watch the video. Please like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. As of the filming of this particular episode, I think we just passed 8,000 subscribers, which just amazes me. Would love to try and get to 10,000. So if you watch this and even remotely enjoy this or the shorts, we'd really love for you to subscribe to the channel. Please comment in the comment section, all that fun stuff. And if you've watched some of the videos, you'll notice I talk about all kinds of random things. So if there's anything in particular that you would like me to cover or talk about or have a question about, please feel free to ask. I am, in hopes of getting to that point where I can have 10,000 subscribers. I thought it would be kind of cool to have a, ask questions, right? So if there's questions that you have just in general or things you would want to know about the channel, why I started it, or just things in general, I would love to just kind of, talk about that. So please feel free to shoot any questions that you have. And again, I'm seeing these in the Target store, and and apparently from the video, they're seeing these at Five Below. Really do appreciate everybody watching this. This is, again, Whiskey, Games, and Nerd Stuff. Please like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And until next time, folks, cheers.